Today I'm here to bring you guys some thoughts on the Google event that went down today, also on some of the items that they put up for pre-order, share with you guys what I pre-ordered. Of course, I got some of the phones coming in and a couple of the other items as well. Now, the event today centered a lot around AI. Google talked a lot about their knowledge graph. They talked a lot about the Google Assistant, which is one of the big features of the Pixel phones. It's a big feature of Allo, which is their messaging app they just released. And it's also a big feature of Google Home, which is another product that they announced back at I/O and that went up for pre-order today. Now, the Pixel phones, let's start with that. They've got some pretty good specs. Snapdragon 821, we've got 4 gigabytes of RAM. You've got a full HD display on the smaller Pixel. You've got a 2560 by 1440 display on the Pixel XL. And they come in 3 colors. You've got black, silver, and blue. They're very strangely named by the shades of silver, black, and blue. The black one almost looks like Google decided they couldn't decide if they wanted to use space gray or they wanted to use the jet black from the iPhone, so they just took a hybrid of the two. So the phone on the back has sort of a two-toned look where you have the bottom part with the Google logo and then you have a pane up top that is a slightly different shade. On the black one, it looks like space gray and then jet black at the top. The blue one, which is really blue, is an incredibly dark shade of blue. It's not a subtle hint of blue or sapphire like we've seen on the Honor 8 or the Galaxy S6 Edge. It's definitely a really, really dark shade of blue, so if you're a big fan of that, that might be a color that appeals to you. The design is really sort of hit or miss. You either love the design or you hate the design. Overall, it looks like it's pretty ergonomic to hold in the hand, but I don't know that it's really anything new. It kind of looks like an iPhone from the front, in my opinion. On the back, I guess it has sort of a unique design to it. It's got the fingerprint scanner on the back as well. No big camera hump, which is a plus for a lot of people. But overall, I think it could have been better designed. It could have appealed to the masses a little more, especially because of what they're charging for these phones. So the price here is really the big story in my opinion. I don't want to sell the actual software or the hardware experience short, but Google priced these phones way too high. You've got the entry-level Pixel at $650 all the way up to the Pixel XL in 128 gigabytes for $870. That is an incredibly huge price considering you can get a Note 7 for that price and you can also get an iPhone 7 Plus for that price. So when Google is planning to play with those type of phones, they sort of have to deliver this experience that's super premium. Now, a couple of things that I found that were a little annoying that are not included. One, we don't get any type of water resistance or waterproofing in the phones. Both the Note 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus have some waterproofing to them. Also, you don't get wireless charging in the phone, another feature the Note 7 has. Obviously, the iPhone 7 Plus doesn't have. You don't get optical image stabilization with the camera, even though Google is claiming these are one of the best. Actually, DxOMark claimed this is the best smartphone camera, but those guys seem to say that for every single flagship launch, so I'm not sure how I take that, whether or not I really believe it. I'll have to get it in hand and sort of test it. But those are a couple of features that are missing from this phone for such a high price tag. You would really expect to see some of those things included. Now, of course, the processor's top-notch. You've got some top-notch amount of RAM in there. The camera is supposedly really, really good. And of course, the big feature is it's going to launch with Android 7.1, which is the maintenance release of Nougat. It's going to have all of these new features. You've got the Pixel launcher as well, which is going to retain some exclusive features. Once Android 7.1 launches on other phones, a lot of these 7.1 features will be specific to the Pixel, and they won't be coming to other OEMs' phones, which is probably a good move on Google's part to try to align themselves more with the strategy that Apple has with the iPhones. Try to keep some exclusive things for your own brand of Android, which isn't a bad idea, and that might actually help them. So I think the software is really the differentiating feature. You've got the Google Assistant built right into the operating system with 7.1 on the Pixel. The Pixel launcher does look pretty nice, but the launcher itself is not really a reason to get a new phone. Chris Lacey built all of the Pixel launcher features into Action Launcher 3, so if you really want those, you can keep your current phone, spend $5, get Action Launcher 3. I love the launcher, it's really good. Definitely check that out if you're interested in the Pixel launcher features. But overall, those are the big things. The software things are what make these phones appealing. You do get unlimited photos and video backup in Google Photos if you buy a Pixel phone. The one caveat to that is only pictures and videos that are taken on your Pixel phone. So you can't upload from other devices and keep your unlimited original quality photos and videos. So that is an important caveat that Google didn't really mention in the keynote itself. But overall, the phones don't look too bad. I would say they're way, way overpriced. That's the main problem. And so when I review these phones, I'm not going to hold them to the standard of last year with the 6P. It was a $500 phone. I'm going to hold it to Note 7 and iPhone 7 Plus standards. Do you get the same amount of value that you get from this hardware? Now, the software experience will be great, but whether or not you get that same great value out of the hardware, that's certainly something that's up for debate. Now, I ordered a 128 gigabyte Pixel XL in the black color, and I ordered a 32 gigabyte Pixel, the regular Pixel, in the blue color, just because I want to get some variation. And I'll probably carry the Pixel XL as my main phone, which is why I didn't get 128 gigabytes in both. I'll have those in towards the end of October. Google wouldn't let me add expedited shipping, and I forgot to do it because I was trying to order too fast. And then I'll have a lot more on the Pixel XL. We'll get into the camera, we'll get into the battery life, etc. Talk a little more about the build and all the specifics. None of the specs really matter too much until you get it in hand and really get to use it for a couple weeks. The next thing that Google talked about, of course, is Google Home, which went up for pre-order today. Saw a lot of that at I/O. Really excited about this product. It's an Amazon Alexa competitor where you're going to have integration with lots of different features in your house. Things like Philips Hue, like Nest, of course, all these different things to make your home truly a smart home. And then along with that, Google introduced Google Wi-Fi, which is an extension of OnHub, their previous router product, which I own one of. Google Wi-Fi lets you place additional Wi-Fi access points throughout your house, which will let you extend your Wi-Fi network. Now, for me right now, living in an apartment until my fiance and I get a house, probably not going to be a product, the Wi-Fi extenders that I'm going to want to buy. But when I do get a house, a larger house, it'll definitely be a useful thing, and I'll definitely pick it up, especially since it's going to work seamlessly with the OnHub product. So everything will be integrated into one app, and you'll be able to access all of that right there. I did pre-order the Google Home, so I'll have that in as well. I believe on November 4th is the day that comes in, and I'll have an unboxing and a review of that. And in particular, I'll have an in-depth comparison between that and Amazon Alexa. I've been using the Echo for so long, and I have sort of good experience with it, integrated with my Philips Hue lights and other facets of my home, my Sonos, and all these other smart products I have. So we'll see how they all integrate together as we move forward and compare those two smart home products. The last major thing that they introduced product-wise is the Chromecast 4K, the Chromecast Ultra. That's also not going to be available till November. Priced at $69. So not only do you get 4K support with your Chromecast now, you're also going to get HDR support, which is great for people who have that capability on their TV. I do have a 4K Samsung OLED TV, so I will be picking one of those up. I joined the waitlist on the Google Store. You can't quite buy them yet. At $69, I don't know how well they're going to sell because not that many people have 4K yet. So I don't know if this is going to be something that's going to sell quite as well as the regular Chromecast at half the price. And also, it's applicable to a lot more people because they don't need a 4K TV to use the regular Chromecast. Overall, I thought it was an interesting event for Google. I think they positioned themselves in a way that going forward, they are truly a hardware company now. It's going to take some time to evaluate whether or not this new push is going to make sense. I feel like because a lot of people were excited in terms of the enthusiast demographic, the phones did sell out pretty quickly. The shipping estimates for the Pixel phones have slipped to 6 to 7 weeks now. But if you look at Verizon, they're still in stock, and they're also available for 10/20, so October 20th delivery. So that shows to me that the enthusiasts are excited, but maybe the regular, everyday user demographic still is not really into or excited about Google phones. So we'll see if Google can do something to change that. Of course, the Verizon one is going to have a bootloader locked up nice and tight. So if you do want to think about unlocking the bootloader, doing any sort of customization, you definitely don't want to pick up the Verizon phone. I'm just saying that people who are everyday customers, they like to buy their phones from the carrier. And the fact that these did not sell out at Verizon yet, you can still get one for launch day delivery, suggests that maybe this hasn't yet appealed to the everyday consumer. But we'll see. So maybe Google will change my mind and they'll change all of the minds of the people out there, and maybe they can compete with Samsung and Apple, but I'm not ready to say that just yet. All right, guys, so those are my thoughts on the Pixel phones, the VR headset, Chromecast Ultra, and Google Home. I'll have all those products in the next month or so as they come out, so stay tuned to the channel. You can find me at dopetechdaily.com, Google+, Instagram, and Twitter at the links in the description. Please like and subscribe if you want to see my current coverage, including the Note 7 and iPhone 7 Plus, and my future coverage of all these Google products. I appreciate you guys checking out this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.